Hello, I'm Erica Pearson from Unleash the Monster. I'm here talking to Chrissy Gilroy. She's from the Joint Warfare Analysis Center. And we're getting ready for a customer discussion. And I wanted to know, Chrissy, what are you hoping to learn today?
We're going to learn a little bit about social networking and having that come into that realm within our agency. So we're looking for some answers to what the benefits are and what it all has to offer.
Good. And we're looking forward to that discussion.
Great.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
The communities I'm going to talk about today a little bit are social in nature, but they're not social networks, right? So this is really where Monster's invested in this over the last 10 years. LinkedIn, Facebook, all those other types of networks are going to be terrific brand boosters for you. Continue to advertise on those places, continue to put your message out there. It's going to be important, but they're really big canopy social networks. It's the smaller networks, it's the kind of sub-networks underneath them that are built around, I taught with you, or I served in the military with you, or I went to school with you. It's those smaller sub-social networks, right, that aren't the big canopy networks, that are the most important networks in my view. It's like military.com, where we've had 10 million members for the last 10 years consecutively. It's like our emerging workforce opportunities. It's like our Monster Communities and Affinity site that we've built. Those networks are going to yield what I call qualified and interested, right? They should be your two qualifiers before you think of any social network strategy at all. That's what I like about military.com, and that's what I like about some of the other communities that we've invested in. Because at the end of the day, those are both qualified and interested. I'm going to start with our first community here, and that's more or less around our diversity communities. We have relationships with iHispano and Interactive One, the leaders in the African American market as well as the Hispanic market. These are communities that we've built and invested in over the course of the last 8 years. If you're buying Monster, you're buying diversity. Okay? We don't separate that out as saying, hey, we got to have a separate diversity initiative. 30% of the folks that come through the door at Monster are diverse candidates. We talked a little bit about college students as well. I think LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter and a lot of these things are really good for this college audience. It's really transient, right? And it's not the way it used to be. I know a lot of you folks are doing work with career centers, and you're doing a lot of career fairs, things like that. 1 out of every 5 step foot in the college career center, okay? That doesn't mean, hey, I got in there. That includes the guy that was running the last day of school, right, to talk to the guy at the career center finally, right? That includes all those people all through their 4 years. 1 out of every 5 ever stepped foot in that career center. Man, this is a different audience. This is an audience you got to get to through mobile. This is an audience you got to get to through like other websites and blog sites, college newspapers online, these types of opportunities through our networks. We can get to these folks. We had a site called Monster Track that we built or acquired about 10 years ago, worked primarily with the career centers. We believe in that strategy, but we see that strategy really changing, right? And we're really trying to now work at a little bit more of the department level, right? You're not going to win if you're still working just at the career center level. If you have the opportunity to work with a department head, or you have the opportunity to work with an academic head or a chair or somebody else within those specific departments that you're trying to recruit talent of, go to them, right? And our advertising will allow us the opportunity to get into a lot of those challenges as well. I heard some of the comments in terms of folks that are now investing in this opportunity or taking advantage of the economy to invest in this opportunity. I think that's a really smart play right now, folks. Because bottom line, a lot of folks leaving, very, very few coming in. And they're incredibly transient, and they speak a different language, and they're on different networks, and they have different devices than you did 20 years ago. Another community or another social network that we're talking about is the military opportunity. I'll highlight, because Doug went over a lot of this, I'll highlight the last bullet on this. 10 million members for the last 10 years. That's before you ever thought about Facebook or ever thought about Twitter or ever thought about LinkedIn or any of those other spots. This is all about the people that I served with, right? It's all about the people and their families and the relationship and the kinship that we build with the military community. There's nobody that has more solid relationships than military.com with the military community. As Doug mentioned, a lot of the things we talked about in terms of being one of the most prominent government sites and also being one of the most prominent educational sites, you are going to get a lot better candidate out of this community than you are off of a Facebook, okay? Because it's about people you know, and it's about people peer referring as opposed to blind referring. And when I say peer referring, that means, man, we served together, I trust you. If you're gonna help me get this job, it's the oldest recruiting trick in the book, right? The referral. We've just got better ways to do it now. Military.com is one of those. A lot of folks, very similar to what many folks are doing with diversity, a lot of folks are setting up their own military recruiting programs or have dedicated recruiting programs now. Look at those up there, okay? You see some government opportunities. We're certainly working very hard with a lot of our government partners to do that. But look what the commercial space is doing, right? These are some best practices that we want to mirror here in the government space, especially when that pool essentially belongs within government anyway. Right? A lot of these folks have specific military programs because they have just-in-time hiring needs, or they have security clearance needs, or they have some other opportunities that they want to get that workforce in. And lastly, is we believe in communities and social networks so much that we bought a company about a year ago, or I'm sorry, about 2 years ago, called Affinity Labs, where we're creating individual communities. I'm putting that offer out there today to tell you folks, if you're interested in specific verticals, or you're interested in specific pools of candidates, we will help create those for you. Okay? We'll help create communities. One of our government communities is already in there, Gov Central. You see a lot of other opportunities for you to be able to put branding and be able to drive other opportunities through our affinity communities. If you see a need within your department or within your agency to be able to create a community, talk to me. We'll build one of those for you, right? And we'll allow you to brand it, we'll allow you to be able to get a little bit more kinship with that individual audience. Social recruiting solution allows you to take every job that you have on Monster, be able to create a page that's specifically designed for your agency, or a subdivision even within your agency, and kick all your jobs into that Facebook page. Okay? That's one single solution that goes around with any of our community buys. So if you have a buy in any one of our communities, we're going to build that page for you. We're going to be able to design a Facebook page for you. Twitter jobs are going in there as well. You see the feeds that are coming in there. We use Dell as a commercial example here. But it delivers our current job postings through a simple RSS feed, which basically means it's updated. Again, no work to you, right? We're going to take your job ID, we're going to take your job feed and be able to put it in there. I know a lot of you are struggling with, hey, I just got to get a Facebook page up and I'm arguing with 15 people on how to do it, right? I see a lot of heads nodding on that. Okay, this is our opportunity to work together and kind of partner together for everything that you're trying to do in a lot of these divisions that are underneath there. See some of the Twitter job search stuff we're doing. Twitter, I think, is just going to continue to expand. We see a lot of the fragmentation within these areas like TwitHire, Tweet My Jobs, Twitter job search, Twitter this, Twitter that. We're going to see a lot more fragmentation coming in there. What we do is kind of get a compilation of all those opportunities and again, filter it right back through your job page. So you have a single destination where we can also measure ROI against it. Because that's the other argument coming back to every 20-something in the room that's saying, okay, I want to do this, I want to do this, you don't have an opportunity to do this. Face standing across from them goes, why? Why? How much is it going to get me? How many candidates am I going to get through the door? What tangible, other than your excitement level that you're bringing me here today, what tangible benefits am I going to pull out of this for my department that I can then tell somebody else? I'm going to be able to track that. Every single candidate that comes through there, I'm going to be able to deliver some type of opportunity that shows you exactly where that candidate came from as a source, and we're going to be able to build those into your Facebook pages as well. See an example here in terms of what we're doing with or what Ernst & Young is doing. I use it as a really good example in the commercial space. There's some other folks out there. We certainly talked to State and a number of other folks within the government space in terms of building these social recruiting sites. Ernst & Young, Sodexo, Microsoft, a couple others within the space, Walmart, they not only have a career page, right, within Facebook, but they have individual disciplines too, right? So not only is Sodexo looking for, you know, the big mass audience to come in and learn more about Sodexo as a company, as a commercial company, but they're also creating an individual page for every dietitian that they want to talk to as well. You've got to go deep. Don't just dip your toe in, swim. That's really important because people are going to keep looking for more. This is not just a post it and go kind of thing. This is a daily ritual between you and a lot of different job seekers, and that really changes the face of how you recruit a little bit. You do not have a choice, okay? You have to do it in a very disciplined way, and you have to use your own channels, and you have to get ROI, and we'll help you do that, but you do not have a choice to leave this audience sitting out here, especially when you're looking for the opportunity to bring in a lot of 20-somethings to replace a lot of 60-somethings. And that is the doorstep that we're sitting on today.